Okay,
Roll.
everyone, good evening and welcome again to our team weekly call. This is Kai and Greg Hayes at your service. We are ever delighted to see all of you who's continuously plugging in and growing at the same time, because each week we provide you with amazing speakers and trainers to help everyone understand what network marketing truly is all about, so that you can all learn the proper principles and behaviors in building your successful team of people globally and help everyone to exhibit best practices until you reach your goal. Okay, so moving on, we are going to take advantage of this new month of September and new opportunities ahead for all of us. So let's get your month locked and loaded with all the product and playbook training. Remember our playbook training? And then, of course, Greg, would you like to?
Sure, thanks. I get to talk now. Thanks, Kai. Make sure for the second bullet point that you guys use the September issue of the Healthy Aging Calendar. It's a new tool that LifeVantage Corporate has created for us and to help you build your plan for health and success. Now, you should have received this in your email this past week, and it explains more. So make sure you check it out.
Perfect, perfect. And earn your way to convention by generating at least 500 PV and above in new sales this month. Greg, Nico, and I have already completed that. We have actually welcomed our new distributors, and hey, we acquired another 175 points for shopping spree at LifeVantage store.
Yeah, I hope I get to use a little bit of that. So next, another key tool that has been provided to you to achieve success in your business, two, is to attend the Success Mastery Training each Saturday morning to learn
not miss that.
from
Yeah,
doctors,
that's really super cool. Yeah, super cool.
professionals, and elite distributors in LifeVantage.
I love it. And of course, before we forget to actually greet everybody, happy Labor Day weekend after the meeting, we're just gonna let you know to take your time and enjoy your family this weekend, okay?
Absolutely. So as we always say, make sure that you and your team have registered for the global convention. That's a little over a month from now, October 22nd and 23rd.
And make sure you already have chosen who your guests are going to be for your 2 extra tickets, okay? So moving on to our motivational quotes, of course, Build Your Own Dreams or Someone Else's Will by Farah Gray. Greg?
Great. Yeah, next, Kai. Now it's time to say the real opportunity for success lies within the person and not the job. There's always an opportunity, but again, it's you, not the job.
Absolutely. And that's from Zig Ziglar, my favorite. I alone cannot change the world. That's true. But I can cast a stone across the water to create many ripples, from Mother Teresa. Okay, Greg.
All right. Thanks, Kai. Now it's time for one of our team leaders to share some knowledge and wisdom that they've learned in their LifeVantage journey so far. So, Kai, who is our special team leader you've picked for tonight?
Actually, I'm so excited to present to you our Pro 3 from New Jersey, team leader Rona Talusan. Take it away, Rona. Are you ready?
Can I share?
Sure. Thank you.
Okay, so I'll be rushing because I was just given 3 minutes. Okay, so I'll start. Do you see my screen?
Yes.
What is the key to success? Why are some people more successful than others? According to Albert Hubbard, an American writer, the key to success is self-discipline, which is the ability to do what you should do, when you should do it, whether you feel like it or not. Your 2 worst enemies. The 2 biggest enemies of success are the path of least resistance and the expediency factor. The path of least resistance is when people are taking the easy way in almost every situation, looking for get-rich-quick schemes instead of doing what is hard and necessary to achieve success. The expediency factor is even worse. Most people do what is expedient or what is fun and easy rather than what is necessary for success. You have self-discipline when you can master your own emotional and inclination, when you can control yourself and your actions, control what you say and do, and when you make sure that your daily behaviors are consistent with your long-term goals and objectives, when you can deny yourself the easy pleasures and temptations that lead you astray. Self-discipline requires delayed gratification, the ability to put off satisfaction in the short term in order to enjoy greater rewards in the long term. The most successful people are long-term thinkers. When you think long-term, you have to think of sacrifice. We all don't like to do the same things, but successful people do them anyway because they know that it is the price they have to pay to enjoy the rewards in the future. Successful people are more concerned with activities that are goal achieving. Average people are more concerned with the activities that are tension relieving. It seems so hard to do, right? But you can develop the habit of self-discipline. The regular practice of disciplining yourself becomes stronger and stronger as you practice it. You refuse to make excuses. Self-discipline and goals. Your ability to set clear goals and to work toward them every day will guarantee your success. If you have a clear goal and a plan to achieve it, you have a track to run on every single day. Hopes and wishes are not goals. Hope is not a strategy for success, and a wish is a goal with no energy behind it. These are the 7-step method to achieving your goals. Please take a picture of it because I don't have time to read every one of them. Okay, do you have it?
Yes.
Discipline and time management. Before you begin each day, or better, the night before, start by making a list of everything you have to do that day. Then apply the ABCDE method to your list. A, must do, serious consequences for non-completion. B, should do, mild consequences for doing or not doing. C, nice to do, no consequences whether you do it or not. D, delegate, everything you possibly can to free up more time for those things that only you can do. E, eliminate, discontinue all tasks and activities that are no longer essential to your work and to achieving your goals. What's the big payoff? Self-discipline is actually self-esteem. It brings you self-esteem. When you master the power of self-discipline, you will become unstoppable. You will never make excuses for not making progress. You will accomplish more in the next few months and years than most people accomplish in a lifetime. That's my 3 minutes, and I'd like to say thank you for my son, Mark, 10-year-old son, who helped me with the animation.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
it. The transition.
Are you kidding me? Oh, Rana,
Yeah.
I was actually enjoying it. I didn't want you to end because I was like enjoying the slides. You know, I'm very, very visual. You see?
But we made it more fun.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun to really listen to you while learning, and you just made me proud. You just made us proud because you may not know this, but you have grown so well in the past years that you have been with LifeVantage. And thank you for sharing your knowledge with us today. I'm really enjoying this 3-minute mentorship from our team. Thank you, Rona. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Moving
Thank
on,
you.
moving on. Wow. Hold on. Okay, so
Wow. So our special guest speaker tonight is another an elite Pro 8, Vandee Flake. So, Kai, could you tell us a little bit more about our guest speaker?
oh, I would love to. This
I
is
know
an
you would.
evening with Vandee, definitely. And Vandee is one of my good friends, just so you know. She's my good friend in LifeVantage. We actually met and worked together in Building Depth a few years ago. And when we had a chance to get to know each other deeply, and that is actually when she came here in Austin with her husband, Sam, of course, and her 4 beautiful siblings. I mean, four beautiful children. They supported my networking party last February. Well, what can I do? I fell in love with her heart. She is a genuine person and such a benevolent leader and totally grounded. And you know, those are my kind of people. So, but apart from being my very special and trusted friend right now, Vandee Flake is actually a native Arizonian, but she is now from Snowflake, Arizona. She graduated from Arizona State University in 2003, followed by a 9-year career in marketing. However, she actually became a mom, and that's when she realized that, being in a corporate world would not give her time flexibility to be a modern day mother. So Vandee and her husband started their journey 10 years ago in network marketing. And this has been the answer to their prayers for better health, of course, and for more time flexibility for their family. Vandee is passionate about helping entrepreneurs and encouraging women to live their own dreams. And she basically built a successful business and loves to help others. Now, Vandee and her family traveled full time in RV with their children for 18 months. How cool is that? But now they've settled in their new home, of course. But this may have been the best and the greatest decision for them during that time when they were, traveling with their RV. But, Vandee's goal is to connect right now with other people who are working for better health, finances, and more time freedom for themselves and their families. So I'd like to introduce to you the woman of the hour, Vandee Flake. Vandee, are you there?
I'm here, Kai. Can you hear me good?
Yes, yes, yes. Definitely.
Okay,
Hi, how are you here?
Excellent. So how are you doing today?
Thank you so much. It's such an honor for you to say yes to my invitation to basically train our team tonight. Thank you so much. I appreciate you and your time. How lovely.
No problem at all. I'm happy to help, and that's the best part that you don't realize about network marketing is the friendships you make.
Absolutely. And you're always there ready to help a lot of people, including myself. So I'm so blessed to have that. So it's going to be a Q&A portion for right now. So I am going to interview my very good friend. And my first question for you, Vandee, is first, of course, tell us about your story. Who is Vandee Flake and why Life Vantage?
Okay. Well, I set some goals actually clear back when I was in high school, and I had kind of my plan of life mapped out. I knew I wanted to get a scholarship so I could go to college because I was the oldest of 7 children. Neither of my parents had graduated from from college, and I wanted to go to college. I wanted to be able to work. I wanted to be able to work from home. So I was trying to do more of like graphic design. But when I kind of started playing with it in college, doing some entrepreneurial stuff, it's hard to be an entrepreneur. It's hard to do everything yourself. So I found a job, and I thought I had made a good career path. I moved up in the company quickly at the beginning, but then I hit kind of a ceiling and I wasn't going up. But a couple things happened is I had my oldest daughter, and I started realizing when I went back to work and she was just 12 weeks old, little teeny tiny. And then, I also had my son, and I went back to work when he was 6 weeks old. And one time I was sitting there and I called into work because my baby was sick. And after the second day, my boss called me and said, you need to take him to the hospital if he's that sick. And I was just blown away because he wasn't sick enough. He just wanted mom. And at that time, we had just started Life Vantage. We got introduced by a friend of ours who was our neighbor. And he just came over and he invited us to a meeting. I told Sam to go. We'd go to the meeting, but don't take your credit card because we're not going to buy anything. We're not going to join. And I sat there and I was just blown away at the meeting. So I was blown away with, it was publicly traded. I'd worked for 2 privately owned companies. So that was a huge deal for me. The product had science base behind it. I had looked at other, herbal supplements, and I liked a lot of them, but I always hesitated without the scientific studies. And at the time, I think there were 3 or 4, but I was just so excited that there was science behind our product. And I wanted to see if it would help my dad, so for me personally. And I looked at the business time, and I looked at the timing, and I looked at the compensation plan and went, wow, we could do this. And my goal was to make $200 or $300 a month. That was my whole goal with it because I didn't think I was an entrepreneur. I didn't think I could do this. But I had the thing with my son where he was so sick and I was feeling torn. Like, what should I do? Where should I go? And anyway, we started building our business. And as the thing I realized, and it was not until I went to my first event. And I'm going to talk a lot about events because going to the event changed my mindset. Right between my ears, it changed my mindset and it opened my eyes to the possibility of what this business could do for me, for Vandee and Sam.
I've just reached out to Nathan just to say, hey, can you
got something else? Okay. Anyway, and so that was my goal. That's where I wanted to be. I wanted to have that lifestyle. And so Sam and I really, really dove in and kind of got serious about that. We got to where we were doing trainings. We got to where we were, trying to build our business. And both of us were working full time. We had 2 small children, but we saw something special about LifeVantage. I bought products from other network marketing companies, but I had never jumped on because I never saw anything that was laid out the way this company was, with the compensation plan, the incredible products, the science, and the mentorship. Those things all together just really, really, to me, was the golden ticket of, how this could change our lives.
Wow. Actually, Vandee, I think we're on the same page on that. We saw a perfect storm. Like, there was nothing to say no to. It's like, are you kidding me? And the question really lies like, is this for real? Something like that. So thank you. Thank you for sharing your why LifeVantage. So on to the next question. Well, creating a great lifestyle within 10 years and enjoying financial freedom seemed very easy and such a short period of time as well. But let's hear about the sacrifices and commitment behind this success so that people can understand that there is a great price behind success.
Well, with anything, I think that they say it takes 10,000 hours to become, an expert at anything. There was a sacrifice. Our trainings were 3 hours drive each way. I had to get babysitters, and mind you, I'm already working 40, 50 hours a week that I'm gone from my family, usually more. And then to leave them again on Saturday to go to a training was really, really difficult. But we did. We sacrificed vacations. We sacrificed,
We lost your photo. We lost your video.
Hang on. My back.
Yes.
Okay. Sorry,
back.
I got a phone call.
Sorry.
All right. Anyway, we sacrificed. We didn't go on any vacations. The only vacation we did was going to LifeVantage events. And we really, really were sacrificing everything to get to those events. We drove, 12 hours instead of flying. We carpooled, we slept at family's house that lived close. So, anything we could do. Shared hotel rooms, all of that to get to the trainings. And we missed stuff. We missed family events. We missed, Sam loved football, and he had to give up watching football for the time-wise just because we had to prioritize what was the most important. And we missed being at some of our kids' events. A lot of times, Sam or I would go to an event rather than both of us. And we just made this a priority to, to get there. And so for us, and there was a lot of pushback, from family and friends. They say they're doing this because they want more time with their kids, but they're gone all the time. But that was a short period of time. And now our family can be the priority. Our family is the first thing we schedule now, our family event. And then I schedule my work time now after that. So it's shifted because of this.
Wow. So there were naysayers during the time that you were building this business, because like what you just said, oh, they said they're building this business so that they can have time freedom, and then here comes the naysayer. Why are they so busy? They don't even have time. But like you said, it's a long-term imbalance for no, short a long-term imbalance for short-term balance, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so you heard that you guys, they drove to conventions and they combined their vacation. Actually, there's no vacation for family. They sacrifice that. And they combine vacation by going to the convention and probably extend some days or come early on conventions. And then they share the hotel. See that, you guys? But now they don't need to share the hotel because they can afford to do rent the suite. Okay, and then they missed family vacations or family gatherings. Guys, are you willing to do that? And football games, who wants to give up their football games? My goodness, that's a lot of sacrifices, Vandee, and that's the reason why you guys are where you are right now. It is important for all of our people here who are really pursuing their Life Vantage business. They must hear it from the elites. They must hear it from us, what we were willing to sacrifice. Thank you so much for that great wisdom. So on to the next question. What are the key things to take seriously while you are building your network marketing business? And why is it important to put it in action?
There's two things I tell people that you have to do when you're building a network marketing business. And the first one is you have to learn. You have to get training, because this is not a business like anything else. People told me, well, you were in marketing. This was easy for you. No, my marketing was ordering radio ads, ordering newspaper ads, making sure the print stuff was correct for the stores. It was not talking to people. It was not selling people. It was, it really wasn't even connecting with people because I didn't talk a lot to people. So this is diving in, and it's something completely different. The other thing is, because there are so many naysayers, you need personal growth. You need positivity in your head every day. And so the trainings were non-negotiable. We went to every training. We looked at one, and Sam was a school teacher. They only had like 5 days off. He took time off without pay so we could go to the first convention. The next one was his big family reunion. And he's like, I said, what's our priority? And stuff. So there were things that you have to prioritize. For me, it was daily action. So every day I tried to learn something, and I tried to do something. Mine was making phone calls, trying to set up meetings, scheduling lunch meetings. I drove 30 minutes each way to work. So that was my learning time and calling time. And then I gave up my lunch hours. I spent that time trying to build my business so I could set up those times. But it's just kind of like a bicycle. You need both wheels. People can ride unicycles, but those are, very few and far between. So you have to have the education and the action, and doing them every single day, is going to get your business a lot further. And it's a little bit of effort every single day compounded is going to change your life.
Wow. Education and action combined together. And just a quick question for you. Education, learning, convention and training and Zoom calls. Did it help you massively in you becoming a bulletproof because of those naysayers that everybody will encounter? Definitely.
It did. And, back when we started, there wasn't a lot of ways to get training. But right now, so it was literally you had to call in to listen to a recorded call, and then you had to punch in this long code. So I had to do it before I started driving, or else I couldn't get on to listen. And, there were books available and audios, but there wasn't as much from Life Vantage. Now we have the app. You can go and click through, and there's little short segments of trainings from all the elites. There's, people like follow on Facebook, Eric Worre, Fraser Brooks. There's people that do so much free training. that's at our fingertips. Like, the amount of free training right now is almost overwhelming. When somebody tells me I don't know how to get training, I want to laugh because there's so much free training. And you can. And I do recommend books. I mean, I've read a lot or listened to a lot of books, but yeah, you have to put it in your head, because then it'll eventually come out of your mouth. I remember the first time I did a 3-way call for somebody, and I was the validator, and I felt so nervous. And I told the gal at the end of the call, I said, Marion, if you have more questions, I can get you on the phone with Heath or Rick or Sam, because they know more. And she goes, no, I think you answered all my questions. And half the answers that came out of my mouth were just things I had learned. And you guys, I've been in the company almost a year. It wasn't quick. It took me time to get that confidence to be there.
Wow.
But that's what you have to do.
And that's what I call winners will always find a way to win. And that's who you are, Vandee. Imagine driving 30 minutes to work and back home 30 minutes. You found a way to be productive by putting on that CD on your phone, on your car. And like you said, I agree with you. We didn't have so much tools and resources during those our times. But now, would you believe that I believe anybody can actually build their elite rank, even without a sponsor. I mean, even without an upline helping them, because there's a lot of tools and resources that they can leverage from, right?
Yes, exactly. So many tools.
Right. They're so blessed right now, Vandee. So the next question would be, if you don't mind, we understand that most people who joined in LifeVantage, has full-time jobs, right? So would you have any recommendations on how you can share how to find time to maximize presentations, you know, that 15 presentations, which is a part of the system actually, to maximize that 15 presentations per month? And why is it important to have that senior senior partner, elite, preferably an elite, senior business partner, third-party validation, just like what you just mentioned a while ago?
You know, everything you want to do is a matter of priorities. If you don't prioritize your business and you don't make it a, you know, plan it out and schedule it. You know, I schedule my calls, my training calls are on my calendar. But then again, I've actually gotten so busy. I mean, my calendar beeps at me when it's time to take the kids to school, when it's time to pick them up. I don't leave anything for my memory. So schedule out your meetings. One time, Sam invited somebody, they couldn't come. Sam just said, well, that's okay, we're doing one next Tuesday. There was no meeting scheduled the next Tuesday. He just planned it on the spot and committed to it so that he could make that commitment with the person. So there's so many tools right now that we can do. We had met somebody, they were asking about our business. They had looked at our business a couple years ago. Sam invited him over again, him and his new girlfriend. And all he did is turn on the computer and played one of the recorded Tuesday night calls by an elite, and just showed them how simple it could be. You know, he invited them, he showed them a tool, and then we connect them to one of our team calls, a team member. And that's the system, because if I can do presentations, but if I invite you, Kai, and I sit down and I do the whole presentation, you look at me and go, that's awesome, but I can't do what you did. Okay? So when we do the ITT and we connect them to somebody else, because what you're trying to do is say, can you do what I did? And when you do that, you guys still, we've been in for 10 years, we're Pro 8, we still use third party, okay? And we have some amazing third-party tools to use. And if you are not getting on the Tuesday night calls, if you're not getting on the Saturday calls, you are missing out, because the elites are sacrificing their time with their families to build your business for you. And that's what is so cool about this company, is that we all work together, and that you have those tools available. And there's so many recording ones. If you find somebody you just love their presentation, use that recording all the time, you know? Even if you're sitting in a room with them, that's what Sam did. He just literally opened it up and hit play so that they could see how easy it was.
Fantastic. That's brilliant. And I want them to hear it straight from you, because it's always third party really works. They have to hear it from someone else, especially from another elite, because, you know, we've been teaching that to our team, but sometimes, you know, our voices sound so familiar, you know, they'd rather hear it from someone else, and it just, you know, they get it. So third party validation proves to be very, very effective. And you're right, we have tools, massive tools and resources, and we use those third party validation through those recorded calls and all that. Guys, Vandee is right. Use that success mastery training tool and the Tuesday nights as well. And then once you sign them up and bring them on board, let them hop into our team weekly meeting calls so that they can meet a lot of people, people training them and doing that third party validation as well, right? So great so far. It seemed hard achieving an elite status, right? And getting stuck in the rank is inevitable. So Vandee, what do you think transpired along the way? How do we help them get back on track? And do we ignite uncommitted team members to achieve rank advancement, or would you rather advise them to just enroll and get new blood?
Kind of both. You know, a lot of this is remembering that we are very blessed, because we can, we get to earn money while we learn. We get to build part-time. You know, when my brother-in-law decided to quit his job and go back to school to become a doctor, he had to quit his job. He couldn't work. He had to do, all he could do was take out debt and go to school to become a doctor. He almost didn't even get to be around his family when they had their second baby, because his school was so intense. With LifeVantage, we have the opportunity to make as much money as doctors make or more, but there are times that we do it part-time. So when you get stuck, Seth Mulder did an excellent training on this the other day, and he goes through, there's 3 things, you know. First, stop and be grateful for what you have and write it down. Be specific. This is probably one of my biggest things, is be specific about what you're grateful for. And then think about your vision. What's your why? Why are you building this business? Okay? And be specific. Well, I want more money. Okay, well, here's $1. You got more money. Be specific on what you want, okay? And then go to work and do the action. I love what Rona said about doing the activity anyway, whether you feel like it or not. Too often, we only reward ourselves when we get a new distributor. You know, I've been in this business for 10 years. That's a lot of days without signing up a new distributor or customer, okay? And if I only rewarded myself as doing good in the business when I signed somebody up, that would be a lot of failures. Reward yourself for the activities, the invites, the trainings, the things you can control, okay? And work on your mindset. When you get stuck, and there's been a lot of times I've been stuck over the years, you guys. I had my 4th baby had a lot of complications. We had our own business, we had started a little pizza business to try to, you know, do something, have another stream of income and stuff, and that was failing miserably. And so much stress. Take time to rest, but don't quit. Okay, I took time to rest when I needed to be with my family and I needed to heal my body, but I didn't quit. But focus on the trainings. Get on the app. Get there. I loved what Daisy said when she spoke last time you know, all the elites have been in the shower with her. They've been in the car with her. They've been in the bathtub. It doesn't matter. Listen to those trainings. When you get stuck, find a story that you can listen to, and, you know, then get the mindset. But that's really one of the things I think if you're feeling stuck, start over. Go listen to a personal growth book. Go out there and get a tracker. This is the I Dare You tracker with Fraser Brooks, you guys. Follow him. He's got some incredible building on social media. But I just got this one, and it's a tracker. So literally, I just got it, so it's brand new. I don't know if you can see that, but you can go in and track every single day your activity. And it's, you know, how many people did you message? How many people did you ask the question to? You know, can I share more information with you? How many people have you followed up with? And the book is I Dare You Tracker by Fraser Brooks. So his books are I Dare You, I Double Dare You, and then this is just his tracker on how to keep track for 90 days of your activity. And it's social media based because that's his thing, but it doesn't matter. If you're feeling stuck, go reprint your launch guide and start filling it out like you're a brand new distributor. I can't tell you how many times I bought a new blueprint. The blueprint was the old launch guide, and it was like a book. Like literally bought a new one, wrote my name in it, started over. Started with a new list and just refocus. You know, today is the first day of your business, okay? Today is. Because we don't have tomorrow. We can't do anything else from yesterday. Today is all we have. So make sure you're doing your activity, and that will really change your mindset. Activity, I know success likes action.
Wow, so far this is an exciting training, you guys. And my last question before I hand you over to our audience so that they too can have the ability to ask you a question. Well, how important is leadership, personal and spiritual growth in order to build a successful LifeVantage business?
One of the first trainings that I heard, and there's a couple things that really, really stuck with me, but there's two quotes I'm going to give you from probably the first elite academy I went to. And the one was, you become the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And that really hit me because with the exception of Sam, it was probably 4 coworkers. And I knew I was becoming a version of myself that I didn't like. And so, but you are in control of those people you spend the time with. It's people you read, people you listen to. You could have mentors like Jim Rohn and Eric Worre, listening to them every single day. You know, all the Pro 10s have talks that you can go in and listen to every day. And the second part of that is that someone told us our check was tied to the person we became. Our check was tied to how we became a better person. So personal growth is huge. If you don't do it, you are not going to grow your LifeVantage business because people are going to follow. They're going to want to join you when they believe in you. And you have to believe in yourself first.
Absolutely. Perfect answer. Because actually leadership, personal and spiritual growth, not just building your LifeVantage, actually it will lead you to building a successful life, a successful job, a successful business, and anything that you want to do, it will lead you to success because those 3 essential, vital parts and aspects in your life must have equal growth in yourself. Leadership, personal, and spiritual growth come together. So, okay, I'm going to toss it over to you guys. Don't be shy. It is a time for you to just unmute your phone if you are ready to ask Vandee a question. She's not going to bite you, so let's get started. Anyone?
In the chat, somebody had asked about the book, and the name of the author is Fraser Brooks. This is what he looks like. I don't know if you can see that. But anyway, so Fraser grew up in the network marketing industry. His dad was very successful, and then he built his own network marketing industry using social media. He has sold all of his network marketing and has become like Eric Worre. So those are why I support 2 of those guys trainings really well, is because they're not still trying to build their own business. They're literally out there just promoting trainings and help to help people like us build our business.
Excellent. So you got that right. Anybody, please, this is a time for you to ask Vandee on her personal experiences in LifeVantage, everything that she was able to.
Okay, I will ask Vandee a question.
Perfect, Sylvia.
Okay, Vandee, now during the COVID era, quite a few people feel frustrated in trying to get new people to talk to. And so we need to know, where are you going now to try to get some of your leads? So that way we can get them, even to get them on Zoom, or to be able to, because we can't see them in person. Some people are too afraid to step out of their house.
You know, Sylvia, I was feeling kind of the same way of, who am I going to talk to now that I can't talk to anybody? And somebody goes, how many people are you friends with on Facebook? And I hadn't thought of that. So I went through, and I have over 3,000 friends on Facebook. And a very small percentage of those are people in LifeVantage. And so it's really just kind of refocusing on your thing. And where you're going. There are a lot of people out there, and there's a lot of people looking. So the best thing you can do is, Tori Hill gave a training. Again, we were watching it this morning on our drive in, and she just asked, the guy says, I'll send that quote to you by 7 o'clock tonight. And she goes, you didn't send it to me tomorrow. And she goes, no, I'm working till 7. He goes, I work till 7 every night, even Saturdays. And she goes, you need to know what we know. That's all she said. Can I get your number and give you some information? She didn't tell him about anything else, but she just was paying attention and listening, and then asked, you need to know what we know. And I thought that was such a great invite. But just paying attention to people's stories. You know, somebody posts something about a meme, even a meme about their boss, how much they dislike their boss. You know, private message them. Don't comment on their whole Facebook. Private message them. Say, hey, I saw this. You need to know what I know. Or, you know, would you jump on a Zoom and see what I'm doing, how it changed my life? We're talking about somebody who fired their boss, or whatever the invite you feel like with. But pay attention to people's stories. Pay attention to people's posts. And think about what you can offer. And remember, we have an incredible gift, and it is not what everybody's looking for, but there are people on their knees praying every single day for an answer. I did not expect the answer to come like network marketing, but I was praying because I wanted more time with my children, okay? But the guy who invited us, we weren't even on his list, because he had a list of sick people and he had a list of entrepreneurs. And those are the two groups of people that he was going for. But he didn't realize that Sam and I were sick and tired of being sick and tired and working for somebody else. And we were hungry. So you don't know that what somebody else is looking for. You don't know the answer. And I can guarantee you, it's the people that you don't think will ever do this that join and do it and run.
Wow.
Thank you.
Are you guys sick and tired of being sick and tired? We were. Go ahead, Rona. You have a question.
Hi, Vandee. Thank you so much for sharing your wisdom tonight. My question is, on a daily basis, how many people do you talk to?
It varies. At the beginning, when we were running and building hard, we were trying to, I think, invite 5 a day each person when we were working full time. And then as our team was growing, it would kind of shift. We would lower our invites because we were doing more third party. So it would kind of vary. Figure out what your number is that you can do, and then make that commitment to do it. But doing one more person every single day will make a big difference. And by the way, thank you for sharing your thoughts today. I took a lot of screenshots and I really enjoyed that earlier. But you know, with social media, it's a little bit different. So I try to message a few more people of, and some of it's just, hey, with everything going on, how things going in your world? I know this is crazy time. How are you doing? And starting a conversation and then asking questions. A lot of mine are not, hey, can I meet with you and show you LifeVantage? A lot of mine on social media are building that relationship and, just asking them questions. How's your job going? How's it going homeschooling your kids? What's going on in your part of the world? That kind of thing, getting to know them, asking about where they're at, their family, their, what they're doing for recreation, how their job's going, that kind of thing. So just really asking a lot of questions. And mine's kind of changed. Honestly, I'm going to tell you guys, we've been a little slow because we've been moving into the house in July. We also ended up with a family emergency. My parents got custody of my 9-month-old nephew, and so we've had him a lot. And so that's been a big change because my house is not baby-proof right now. So we've had a lot of stuff going on with us, and some of that slowed down. But I tried to stay consistent, even if my number went down, to still do some activity. And that's actually why I ordered the tracker, was so I could track it and, hold myself accountable, because it can be really easy to skip and to realize all of a sudden, oh my goodness, August is over. And gosh, I did one presentation and I talked to 3 people. So another thing I did when I had kids that were real little, I printed off a Curious George. There's a coloring page with Curious George with all these ice cream cones. And it's 15 ice cream cones, like 15 scoops of ice cream. So we would color one in every day that we did a meeting. And then my kids were like, hey, because if we got to the end of that in the month, we would go get ice cream. It wasn't a huge treat, but it was a treat that we didn't do with them. And so I got my kids involved in the activity. And that helped them get more supportive and buy in, instead of going, someday when we hit this rank, we're going to go to Disneyland. Someday they got a more quick reward. So then my numbers have fluctuated a lot depending on where I'm at. But sometimes we just set a timer for an hour and just kind of go through steps of inviting people, following up with people, trying to schedule presentations, just going through our list. And whatever time that takes. My time is usually broken into more like 15-minute segments, because that's all I can be gone for my 4-year-old before he gets lonely. But you just kind of have to find that number that works for you and then stick with it. And so every day, try 1 tomorrow, try 2 the next day, try 3 the next day, and your number might be 8. You're like, okay, I can do 8 every day. And get to there that is, and then keep that as your minimum.
Wonderful. Okay. Yes, so guys, you've heard Vandee. Whether you're a Pro 8, you're a Pro 1, Pro 4, Pro 6, it doesn't matter. I mean, obstacles, happen in our lives. So it's kind of like slows us down. But the difference between the elite mentality is that we know how to get back on track. Do you guys know how to get back on track? Because some of you, the reason why it's so hard to get back on track, and that's why when you get paralyzed and you just suddenly, the quitting is just the option, because it's too hard to get back on track, because you take time off too long. In our case, we take time off probably 3 days or a week is the longest or whatever, but we know how to get back on track. We know, we take accountability with ourselves, and we know how to kind of like take the action right away and do not get frozen in management mode or anything that we're doing, obstacles, whatever, afflictions, something like that. So and another question, you guys.
Christiane.
Hi, thank you. Hi, Vandee. I wanted to ask you something. When we all get started, and even as we go on, we have those family members and those special friends and those people that we care so much about, that we're really so excited to help them or to work with them. And so I was wondering if you could share your experience, how where you would talk to those people and they either weren't interested or they didn't even want to hear what you had to do. And then how, as your business went on, do you have any stories of that, of people who came back, they said no at first, and then they were interested later on? Or what is your mindset regarding that?
Oh, we've had so many. I'm trying to think of a good story. I think my favorite one, because it's funny, is my little sister. So we were having a discussion at a family dinner, and by then everybody had kind of seen the presentation, whether a good presentation or bad, because I used third party with family, because I didn't with a lot of them, but it really helped, the ones I did. So my sister was going to law school, and she looked at me and she goes, I am going to have a real job and not do network marketing. Anyway, fast forward a couple of years, she's graduated from law school and realized how difficult it is to work in that environment. You know, it's a very difficult job, and she is now building her LifeVantage business. Hit and miss. She's got a lot of life that happens to her. She's still in a nasty divorce, but she, you know, that was still probably my favorite, was when she came to the event. And that was one of the things is waiting for them. And some of them, it was just doing things like, hey, they're like, oh, wait a minute, you quit your job and now you guys are traveling, you know, to Italy or the Bahamas or Hawaii, all of these fun places that we've only gone because of LifeVantage and some of these things. But be kind, be loving, be patient. Not everybody is going to see this. Sam's brother was another one who finally, who literally apologized because, and he joined another network marketing company, but he apologized because he did not see the benefits of network marketing and LifeVantage, and actually was quite cruel in some of his comments. But some will, some won't, and go out there and make a big check so that when they're like, wait a minute, how are you doing this? Well, remember that thing you told me was crazy? Those are kind of things. So don't let the naysayers get you down and stop you. Use them as your motivation, because it is fun when someone goes, wait, what? Are you still doing that thing? Yeah. And we're having a great time. So I still get asked that frequently. Are you still doing that thing?
Thank you. That was awesome. Very encouraging. Thank you.
I agree. Thank you. So, Vandee, we're running out of time. So I would like to ask you if there's any additional words of wisdom coming from your heart for our team to take away from you, because a lot of them are truly struggling right now, especially with COVID-19, and they cannot go out, and it's just their hands are tied. So how can we encourage them, and how can we kind of like give them some ideas and how to reach out to people and you know, help them to bring up their volume?
I would really commit to your daily method of operation. So right now, tonight, before you go to bed, I want you guys to write down a list of everything that needs to be done tomorrow. Okay? Every single thing that you have to do. And then go on and use Rona's priority list of A, B, C, D. And your invites need to be an A. Okay? And then focus on those. And then tomorrow morning, you are not the CEO of your business anymore. You're the employee, and you have to do your list and put it in there. I reward myself, you guys, for little things, and it's little things like, you know, pedicures, massages, whatever those are. Maybe it's even going and getting your favorite treat. But if there's something you like to do, you can't do it until you've done your invite and your follow-up. And make a list. Print out your launch guide. Trying to find this next page. So on the launch guide, you guys, it's a whole memory jogger, okay? But go out there and start inviting people and making a list. Start making conversations, and then write in your calendar the number of people that you invited, the number of people that you connected to, even if it's just sending them a text, sending them a message. How are you doing? What's going on in your world? You know, hey, is this still Joe's phone number? You know, that kind of thing. Get those conversations started and then track them. And I promise you guys that if you start tracking them, you are not doing as much work as you think you are doing on your business. But when you sit down with your calendar and you call your upline and say, I'm stuck, and they ask you, where's your calendar? What have you done last month? Let's look at this. Who have you talked to? Who can we follow up with? And you're like, well, gee, I think I talked to Susan, and I sent, Sherry the video. Be specific. This is your business. Track it, and it will. And it doesn't have to be, I'm not asking you to go get 10. Make your goal 1 distributor a month and 2 customers. But that takes time to talk to people. And so that means you need to get so many people to look at all the information, to a meeting. And then you need to have that 5 times that many people invited. And then you can break it down into the days. But that's kind of, some numbers that you guys can work with and stuff. But literally get a calendar, go buy one of the little school ones. It doesn't matter, just a little cheap calendar, and start writing it down every single day. And then, know where you're at. If you can't go, print you out a launch guide. This is, I think, Sam's. I think mine's in the other room. But go through and write down all of those people that you've talked to so you know who you've invited. Put them on your list. And if you need another one, print another page. But every single day, keep track of what you're doing on those steps. And so some of the things are connect with people. Eric Worre told us this in Cancun, and try to, before this weekend, send 100 messages, whether it's text or Facebook messages, of just how are you doing, how's things going in your life, to people. And then follow up with questions. Okay? He said beginners will do 100, intermediate will do 500, and the pros will do 1,000. And I thought, I got this. It's hard. It's hard to send that many messages and then keep up with the conversation. So I'm almost to my 1,000 from Cancun. So just so you guys know, it takes some time. But sending them, keeping those conversations going, and just doing that, and then tracking it. Keep track of it for yourself. And that's what you reward yourself on, is for your activity, because you can't control when somebody's ready to join your business, but you can control how many people you put the business in front of.
Wow, wow, wow. So straight from the heart, from the woman of the hour. Vandee, you are brilliant. And you know what? You're so kind of like so easy. Like you share your heart with us, just as if this is going to be so easy to do, because you don't make it complicated. You make it so simple and doable. That's why she is here with us as an Elite Pro 8 leader, you guys. And also pat your back, because be proud of yourselves. You are here tonight with Vandee to hear what she has to say tonight. Okay? So, give yourselves credits and give yourself a reward, just like Vandee said. Reward yourself for jumping into this Zoom call, because this is vital for your business. This is important. This is knowledge, and knowledge is power. So, Vandee, I believe that we are all seeing each other at the global virtual first digital convention, right? You are going to be there.
Be at virtual. Drop a 1 real quick in the chat, you guys, if you've registered for virtual convention.
That's right. Absolutely. Drop a 1. If we're going to see you at the virtual global convention. Oh my goodness, lots and lots of fun.
Because
Yes, yes, yes.
these will change your life, and get people there with you, because we can, you know, if money's tight, split it. If not, if you've already have a ticket and you have 2 free ones, get people to commit to it and tell them, I paid $200 for this ticket. This is going to be a training
Yes.
that's going to blow your mind. I mean, I'm hiring a babysitter. Even though we're staying home, I'm hiring a babysitter so I don't have to worry about my kids those days, and I can focus on global.
Wow, clever, clever, clever. And get together with a small party of 5 or 10 people. So make it fun, right, Vandee?
Absolutely. Invite people to your home, people that are in your circle, and make it a fun thing, because when you're sitting together taking notes, it'll keep that energy level up. You know, I know there's people that are renting houses and getting together as a big, like, slumber party and stuff. But yeah, have people over, sit there and do it together, and it will change, you know, and take notes. Do not leave, you know, your fortune to your memory. Write things down.
That's
I still go back from 10 years and find notes and reread them and learn stuff that I wrote down. So
absolutely. As we thank Vandee for her valuable time, Greg and I would like to thank each and every one of you as well, because without you listening and watching to our Zoom training call, we would not have a successful one. So I love you guys, and let's continue to build our dreams before someone else will. I love you, and be proud of yourself always. Ciao. Thank you, Vandee, and give my love to Sam and the children, especially.
All right, we'll do that.
Little boy. Love you. Thank you so much.
Love you too.
See you guys
Bye.
at the top.